I used to emphasize a lot on details to make it as real as possible, but right now I'm trying to make whatever things I do, the subject itself is, as long as clear enough that you understand what you're trying to, to draw. It need not have to be super detailed, as long as the flow is there. I think tattoo is about flow.
The road's been long in the Lion City, but they're all the pieces of me.
It's just sort of like a medium that I'm very, very curious about. It began as like sort of like I'm curious about it. That's why I sort of buy all the starter kit and try it on my friends. The first one I actually tried on a pig skin. I always like to try a lot of mediums, to understand, the basic structure of how you're gonna do it. And tattooing is one of them that I think is the hardest to master. I mean, the reason why I like to actually not doing a sketch, but instead a full a full artwork, it's not exactly in a way that I want to prove something or what. It's actually is an excuse for me to draw. Sometimes when you run out of ideas as an artist, then you need some excuse to draw at the same time. So you have customer coming in giving you some ideas, then it's like, oh yeah, finally I got something new to draw. And I find it quite interesting to actually draw stuff on the computer. It's sort of like it's very fast in a way, but the best thing about doing this kind of digital art, you can play around with layout, especially when it comes to designing or custom design for a piece of back piece, for example. You can play around with different layout. Maybe the main subject, you can place it there. You can place if you talk about like drawing on a piece of paper, if it's there, it's there. Okay, the beginning was really tough. I mean, I would definitely suggest anyone who wanted to be in this scene, to be really, really mentally prepared. As in you have to sacrifice a lot of things. I think I struggled for almost 10 years to become who I am now. Especially when you talk about Asia industry, it's like they never think it's gonna work. They will always say things to put you down, or things to wake you up in a way that like, please get yourself an actual job. Stop wasting your time. You're not going to be earning much from just doing tattooing. And I was actually at the point of time, I was already expecting it to be a very, very tough road, and I'm really prepared to sort of like to earn like peanuts throughout my entire life, as long as I'm happy producing things that I do. I'm actually very, very mentally prepared for all these things. I never think that things will turn out that good for me now. I'm really happy. I think I'm blessed in a way by whoever is up there. So I guess it's not an easy road, but if anyone is ready to face this kind of challenge, all the best. I actually started my own shop called Rebirth 8-9 years ago, and it's a new experience. Like, of course, becoming a boss and an artist at the same time is really, really very hard to manage these two roles at the same time, because you as an artist, you want to, of course, to start drawing, to draw every day, but at the same time, being a boss of Rebirth, you have to worry about rental, business and everything. I would say it's half, maybe good experience, bad experience at the same time, because I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I think it's sort of the biggest mistake of my life to open this shop, because that period of time I sort of lost it. I didn't really know who I was at the point of time, because I stopped drawing. Like getting myself into a lot of different troubles and stuff like that. So I guess closing down Rebirth, I guess the best choice. Okay, Bob is definitely a big part of my influences. Because the first time I met him, and I remember I was so nervous. I almost blacked out when I saw him. He's not just a good artist in terms of his character as a person. He's so humble, given with all his reputation and stuff. He's a very humble artist, but with huge talents. And he's willing to share everything. Regarding about tattoo, he's willing to share with you and stuff like that, his own personal experience. So I would say Bob is definitely one of my biggest influence. Yeah, I remember him seeing one of my work on a friend of mine, wearing his glasses and stuff, trying to pay attention to all the details I've done. And this is something that I don't think I will ever forget, coming from a great artist like him. And once he finished looking at all the stuff, he turned around and looked at me. He's like, dude, this is awesome. I was like, the truth is I almost tear up, but I tried to control it. I would say it's the biggest honor. Yeah. I've never seen myself as a guy that will ever get married. Okay, but you never say never, because until you met the right one. Having my own family, my own family now, is definitely the biggest change in my life, because and especially coming from me as an artist point of view, right? I love to draw, and then drawing, you need a lot of time, and you have to juggle between drawing, working, as well as babysitting, all this sort of thing. It's not easy, but but it's rewarding at the same time. So and right now, I think it actually gives me a lot of motivation to work even harder, to provide more stability, or whatever you call it, to my family.
Colors, needles, and stories, memories I'd like to keep forever close to my heart now, always following me. Pictures and people and troubles I meet, fables I'd like to believe, inking reminders I keep on my journey.